Just for your knowledge, the speech I'm about to read, it has been changed in the book, so it's in page 32. I will read it to you in English. Dear masters, brothers and friends, ladies and gentlemen, in a completely biased way, the modern view of reality in today's hedonistic, consumerist, and ultra-materialistic society refers to a reality marked by constant suffering, adorned by social inequality, present in a violent and unjust society. After all, that which characterizes the underworld or the hells. That is why a dialectic of salvation inspired by hope is urgent. Without hope, man will no longer find the strength that allows him to continue to resist and insist on existing, drowning in the ocean of suffering in which he finds himself and which his mind continually replicates. In this way, the doctrine of salvation must be based on an attitude that places the same man at the center, as a hero who saves himself, investing in the study of techniques and practices that allow him to return to a state of clarity and quietness, Jingyun, investing in a gradual but complete emptying of the constraints of the mind that shackle him to the underworld that his mind, together with that of everyone else, has generated and replicated age after age, producing various levels of infernal dimensions to which he returns life after life, wasted in an hedonic state of existence, constantly generating anxiety, suffering, and death, just to start all over again. The doctrine of salvation is simply that which allows one to rediscover the truth, unpolluted and original I, integrated and unalterated, because clarified regarding the circumstances that elusively insinuated themselves until they were taken as reality, in a perspective solely centered on the human, individualistic, without an overall vision that allows perceiving beyond the visible, audible, and palpable, thus establishing a reintegration in the cosmic matrix that gave life and continues to provide formal support, and that operates in a perfect way, evident in the orbits that the celestial bodies describe around its axis, thus producing the conditions that allow life in a succession of events that we call seasons, occurring with mathematical precision, producing the fundamental balance for existence. Away from this original constant modulation, ancestrally established, and by which all of nature is regulated, we could only aspire to one consequence: the existential failure we find ourselves in, irresponsibly, if not criminally, consuming the planet's resource in an unbridled greed that results in war, hunger, disease, and death. It is urgent to start integrating, starting within ourselves, the ancestral concepts of respect and contemplation, in a posture of preserving nature as a way to recover our place as caretakers and defenders of an unpolluted, pure, and peaceful planet, instead of the competitive madness that creates all this suffering and which continually bites and kills us, until the complete erasure of good human conscience, which is in no way the true consequence of the original cause. From the point of view of Taoism, universal Qi is the transcendental blessing that enables life. As Huang refers, it is the continuation of the Tao in terms of substantiality, the primordial originality that continuously supports and generates the universe promoting its formal and operational integrity, just as it happens with each and every one of us, thus producing an intrinsic unity between the human and the universe, as in the expression Tian Ren Hei, which projects us onto the path in a constant generating moment, an endless operation which we breathe through every pore, an inhalation and exhalation between the universe that generates us and ourselves, as one, as a whole, without differentiation or separation, one chi, I-chi, undivided breath, by which the great ocean of existence is constituted. Therefore, if the Tao is the axial root of Taoism, its arts are the way in which we can penetrate the mystery, and in this way get rid of the structural ignorance that dulls our senses, thus obtaining a renewed capacity to walk the path in a simple and effective way, improving our lives and the environment that surrounds us, recovering union with the whole, producing in this life with this body the virtuous vehicle that allows us to renounce the suffering, returning to the plane of purifying stillness. Thus, non-action, Wu-Wei, is the prayer that we can and should continually recite, a prayer for clarity and stillness, which implies not interfering with what is already happening from the beginning, in order to allow ourselves to be invaded by serenity, and thus reach the realms of consciousness that, otherwise, are not achievable because they are submerged by confusion and mental noise. In this way, non-action is like an egg in which we hatch the return to our innate consciousness, our true nature, which is that of the origin, and thus we can return home. This metamorphosis is the only thing we can and must accomplish, investing all our capacity in this project, not wasting the opportunity that lies before us, here and now, fulfilling the destiny of returning to the original condition that we forgot, granted from the beginning to each one of us. The tree of life that protects us from merciless fire with its shadow, that feeds us with its fruit and vivifies us with its sap, right down to its roots that sources and stabilizes us, transporting us to the mystery that exists within what exists, and that harmoniously extends and shows itself in the flower and in the fruit that hangs from its branches, a gift of life and fire of the Spirit that every child wants and manages to access and delight in. This tree is the one generated by pure Yang, regenerated, purified, and by pure Yin, which rejuvenates and refresh what was previously worn out by use. This is the tree that we generate, and that is the source of our salvation, reflecting the original brightness awakened in us and now available as a jade flower, which opens up, showing the beauty of its light in all directions. Thank you very much. Sebei.